Friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to discuss very important chapter, that is figures of speech. What is meant by figures of speech? It is called as a bhasha alankar. As we wear the ornaments to look beautiful, in the same manner, if you want to make your language more glorified or metaphorical or more effective, then figures of speech are used. So we are going to see what are these figures of speech, what is the use of figures of speech, and their various types. I am Kailash Tidke, lecturer in English. So let us see, friends, what is the exact definition of figures of speech. Figures of speech is a departure from the ordinary form of expressions or the ordinary course of ideas in order to produce a greater effect. In day-to-day communication generally, we do not use figures of speech. But while making our language more metaphorical, glorified, or if you want to put your impression, then generally figures of speech are used. Let me tell you one thing, friends. Figures of speech are used by writers, authors, poets. Okay, generally we find these various types of figures of speech in their language. That's why how these figures of speech make our language metaphorical, we'll try to understand. As I told, a figure of speech is a use of word that diverges from its normal meaning, or a phrase with a specialized meaning not based on the literal meaning of the words in it, such as metaphor, simile, personification, hyperbole, irony. These are the figure of speech. Let's try to understand through the example. See, for example, I was wandering like a cloud. I was wandering like a cloud. Now that person has directly given one kind of, or it has shown some kind of comparison with that cloud. My love is like a red rose. It is a simile. Upma alankar. It is called as upma. Now, rose, my love is shown like a rose, or love has given this kind of simile as a rose, or I was wandering like a cloud. So generally we do not find in the day-to-day communication, but to make your language more effective, more glorified, more metaphorical, then generally figures of speech are used. We'll try to understand all the types of the figures of speech. Now see here, simile. It is called as Upma Alankar. Second is metaphor, Rupak Alankar. Next is personification. It is called as Chetana Gunukti Alankar or Manushyattva Roop Alankar. Next is apostrophe, Paroksha Alankar. Antithesis, Virodha Alankar, epigram, Chote Subhashit, means small statement which makes your language or your sentence more glorified. Then euphemism, susamvad, metonymy, adalakshana, oxymoron, virodhabhas alankar, hyperbole, atishokti, then irony, uproth, and next is paradox. This is called as virodhabhas. Means many figures of speech are looking like the contradictory, or there is some contrast. There is some ironical statements. So these we can find in the figure of speech. We will try to understand one by one. The first one is simile. Simile, what does it simile, or how it is used? It is, or what is the use of simile? We will try to understand first of all definition. It is a use. It is used to show comparison between two things of different kind, which have, however, at least one point in common. Simile is introduced by such words like as, like, or so. For example, see, two things in common. Now it is used to show comparison between two things of different kind. वो अलग अलग हो सकते हैं, लेकिन दोनों में ही एक चीज ऐसी कि जो कॉमन है. अर्जुन fought like a lion. Now see, simile, upma. Arjun fought like a lion. Now Arjun is not lion. Arjun is a human being, but he has given this kind of origin, or he is compared with the lion. It is as clear as crystal. See, again comparison, or it is just shown like the crystal things, anything which is crystal. So it is as clear as crystal. One thing in common: Arjun fought like a lion. No, lion also fought. Arjun was also brave. Now see, both two things are compared here to show simile. So simile is generally used in day-to-day communication also, or to appreciate someone, to show some kind of what you can say appreciation, praise, appraisal, then we use similes. Second is metaphor. Metaphor is very important. A metaphor is an implied simile. It doesn't like the simile. It states that one thing is like another or act as another, but that takes that for granted and proceeds as if two things were one. Now see, it doesn't like the simile. ये simile जैसा नहीं है, लेकिन उसमें क्या फर्क है? Try to understand. For example, Arjun was a lion in the fight. In the previous similes we have seen Arjun fought like a lion, but here Arjun was a lion in the fight. Direct comparison is made here. This is called as metaphor. It is called as metaphor. Rupak Alankar. It is called as Rupak Alankar. How? See, one thing is like another or act as another, but that it takes that granted and proceeds as if two things were one. For example, another see the camel is the ship of desert. Now, camel is the ship of desert. Now, camel and the desert, see there is connection, but actually camel is used in the desert place to carry some certain things or the means of traveling. So, camel is directly compared with the ship. Okay, so here it is called as a metaphor or life is a dream. Arjun was a lion in the fight, camel is the ship of desert, or life is the dream. Now these are called as the metaphors. Try to understand. Next figures of speech will try to understand, that is personification. It is called as Chetna Gunokti or Manushyatwarop Alankar. In personification, inanimate object and abstract notions are spoken of as having life and intelligence. यानी कि ऐसी कुछ चीजें होती है जिनमें जान नहीं होती, वो सजीव नहीं होती. Okay, they are abstract notions, means these are some things which we cannot see, okay, which cannot be seen by human being or nobody can see. This we can just feel. So such notions or such ideas are considered as the living organism or living things, and they are having intelligence. For example, anxiety is sitting on his face. Now anxiety is an abstract thing. Death lays his icy hands on king. Star dance in the sky. Now stars dance in the sky. Dancing is the quality of human being. Okay, laughter holding both her sides. How it is possible to hold both her sides by laughter? It is not possible. So certain abstract or inanimate objects which are shown and the sentence is made. So this is what we can call as a personification or Chetna Gunokti Alankar. Next, fourth one is apostrophe. An apostrophe is a direct address to the dead, to the absent, or to a personified object or idea. This figure of speech is a special form of personification. Now see, direct address to the dead or the absent person. For example, see, it is the poetic language. Let me tell you very clearly, because poets can use such language. Oh death, where is thy sting? Oh grave, where is my victory? Now see, poet is asking, where is thy sting? Oh death, oh grave, where is my victory? Now, is it the way to ask someone in the day-to-day life? It is not the way, or no one can ask like this. But poets can ask in the poetical language. And second sentence we can try to understand Milton. Thou shouldst be living at this hour. Oh solitude, next example. Oh solitude, where are the charms? Now this is all the poetical language. We can try to understand the direct address to the dead or the absent things, dead or absent thing, or the personified objects or ideas. This can be used by the poets or the writers. So this is called as apostrophe. The next is hyperbole. Now hyperbole, the literal meaning of hyperbole is overstatement, isn't it? Generally, it is generally used by people in the day-to-day communication also. In hyperbole, a statement is made emphatic or overstatement. How? For example, here is the smell of blood still all the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. See, यहाँ पर जो ब्लड है उसका जो स्मेल है उसका स्मेल यानी कि अरेबियन कंट्री का पूरा परफ्यूम भी हमने इकट्ठा किया तो भी उसको स्वीटन नहीं कर सकता. So this is called as somewhat hyperbole. Okay, or in second sentence, why man? If the river were dry, I'm able to fill it with my tears. Means I can fill that river with my tears. Is it possible? Not at all. So in the exact, literally in the exact sense or in the real sense, it is not possible. So hyperboles are used to denote certain ideas or to show certain things. So hyperboles are used. Generally, in day-to-day communication, we do not consider these hyperbole as a particular or the exact idea or things. Next is euphemism. Now it consists in the description of disagreeable thing by an agreeable name. Now see what is called as euphemism. For example, he has fallen asleep. It definition of the euphemism. What does it denote? Try to understand. It consists in the description of disagreeable thing by an agreeable name. Means something is disagreeable. Just we are calling it as an agreeable name. For example, he has fallen asleep. For example, he is dead. Generally, while talking, we people talk like this. वो अभी सो गया यानी कि अभी वो कभी भी नहीं जाग सकता. Like this. He has fallen asleep. Or you are telling me a fairy tale. Means you are lying. Generally, if instead of talking directly to someone that you are lying, people generally talk in the figurative language, that is you are telling me a fairy tale. Generally fairy tales are fake, or generally we try to tell the fairy tales for the sake of an entertainment. So these entertaining things may be lie or may be fake one. So this is called as euphemism. Next is antithesis. In antithesis, the striking opposition or contrast of words or sentiment is made in the same sentence. It is employed to secure emphasis. Now try to understand with example. From example to rule will go. Man proposes, God disposes. Means something man have want, but God directly rejects. Or something man proposes, God disposes. Antithesis, complete striking opposition or contrast, or what you can say, controversial ideas. Speech is silver, but silence is golden. Now see, two contrary or the very much contrasting ideas. To err is human, to forgive is divine. इंसान गलतियां करता है, लेकिन वो गलतियों को माफ करने का काम किसका होता है? भगवान करता है. यानी कि गलतियां इंसान तो नहीं माफ कर सकता. इंसान का काम गलतियां करना होता है, लेकिन उसको माफ करना भगवान का काम होता है. So both things are contrary or the opposite ideas, like speech is silver but silence is golden. Complete antithesis. So antithesis is very important. It is generally used in day-to-day communication also to convey your message to the receiver in the effective manner. Next is oxymoron. It is a special form of antithesis whereby two contradictory qualities are predicted at once of the same thing. For example, see, his honor rooted in dishonor stood. Now see, his honor rooted in dishonor stood, and faith unfaithful kept him falsely true. Now see, this is oxymoron. Two contradictory qualities are predicted at once of the same things. Now see second example. She accepted it as the kind of cruelty of the surgeon's knife. She accepted it as the kind cruelty. Now the जो डॉक्टर के पास या सर्जन के पास जो कुछ नाइफ होता है, जो सुई होती है, तो वो तो कोई क्रुएल्टी नहीं होती कि he is making some kind of surgery or he is making some kind of operation. We generally we accept it as a kind cruelty, or it is a kind thing. It is not cruelty, but generally in oxymoron, what happens? See, it is a special form of antithesis, as I told. The contrary ideas we put in, just like the doctor is doing some good job. Okay, even while talking, we talk like that. it is a kind cruelty. She accepted it as the kind cruelty of the surgeon's knife. Means surgeon is not doing wrong work, though the instrument he is using and the another person who is using the same instrument for the evil work. So there is slight difference. So that this is called as oxymoron. Try to understand. Next is epigram. An epigram is a brief, pointed saying frequently introducing antithetical ideas which excite, surprise, and arrest attention. Now see, छोटी सी एक स्मॉल ऐसी कुछ एक सेंटेंस होता है कि जो it is like a famous saying. Okay, it attracts our attention. Okay, it creates some kind of surprise. So this is called as epigram. For example, the child is the father of man. Now see, some dominating. If child is dominating like father, then we can call this. If child has certain qualities, he makes no friends who never made a fool. Now see, ऐसा कोई आदमी की जो फ्रेंड नहीं बना सकता तो वो कभी उसके दुश्मन भी नहीं हो सकते. लाइक दिस चाइल्ड इज द फादर मैन. एक बच्चा, चाइल्ड इज द फादर ऑफ मैन. एक बच्चा आदमी का बाप हो सकता है. नॉट पॉसिबल, बट जनरली टॉकिंग, if that particular guy has certain qualities like that, then we can use epigram like this in a very glorified or what you can say in the effective language. We can call it as a epigram. Next is irony. Now see, irony is a mode of speech in which the real meaning is exactly the opposite of that which is literally conveyed. irony, उपहास करते हैं हम किसी का, यानी कि हम जो चीज किसी को कहना चाहते हैं उसमें से कुछ अलग ही हमारा मीनिंग होता है. लेकिन जनरली टॉकिंग there are many people, they are making irony in their statements. For example, they call me Indian abroad, but in my own land I don't know who I am. You see, people call me Indian abroad, but in my land I don't know who I am. It is ironical statement. In one side he's saying I'm Indian abroad, but in other side he's saying I don't know who am I. So this is completely ironical. So next is this is what about irony. Next is paradox. It is a situation or statement with two or more parts that seem strange or impossible together. Virodhabhas. Paradox is called as Virodhabhas Alankar. Truth is honesty, which is bitter. Or your heart, fire and snow. You heart, fire and snow. Truth is honesty, which is bitter. And second is your heart, fire and snow. You can understand there is complete contrast, the situation or the statement which look like very strange or impossible, that we cannot imagine or we cannot bring into the practical life, we cannot practice in day-to-day life. Such statements are made, that is called as a paradox. So these are the important figures of speech, my friends. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe and share this video, and also you can watch the another videos which I have prepared on various topics on my YouTube channel eLearn English. Thank you very much.